What's your success rate of putting away murderers, criminals? Is it, if you give me a percentage, that you succeed?
It's, thankfully, it's extremely high. I don't know the exact percentage. I believe it's over 90% conviction
really?
rate. Yeah, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it's over 90%.
So if you prosecute someone that you believe is murdered or were involved in a gang and caused tremendous harm on others, the chances are pretty high that they're going to go to jail for a while. And do you have enough room for all of these criminals in our system? Well,
I have to tell you, part of what we're seeing now, after years of a declining crime rate, what we're seeing now is an increase in crime.
Because?
Well,
unemployment?
Well, because of, yes, I mean, an economy that is not providing the same kind of opportunities that our economy provided only a decade ago. That's one reason. A continuing failure of our education system is another reason. But I have to tell you, Todd, a third reason is this current realignment procedure that we have, where state prisons literally are being emptied, and now felons, because there isn't enough room in state prison, felons are being housed in county jails, which of course also have no room, and so at the end of the day, large percentages of felons are not even being sent to prison. In fact, under the law, as the law was changed, cannot be sent to prison. They can only be sent to county jails, and they're often being released after only a few days incarceration. Now, of course,
murderers are released?
I didn't say murderers. I said a large class of felons. Those are felons that commit crimes that don't fall into what's called the strike or sex offense category. But these are some crimes that are very serious and that have secondary and tertiary effects in our community. For example, drug dealing. Drug dealing is an example. And so to release, including recidivist offenders, into our communities is a recipe for disaster. And I think the statistics show what's happening.
What's the answer? Building more space, larger buildings to house these people? Can we get the funding to do that, state and federal funding to accomplish that?
Yes, first of all, I think we absolutely need to build more, to have more beds and more capacity in our prisons. But at the end of the day, Todd, I think it's very important to remember that while we have to punish people who hurt other people, we must find an answer to the question of why crime is so high. And I think we have those answers. I think we're not doing a good job reaching kids. Imagine how different our inner cities would be if our schools worked better, if we paid our teachers more, but also held teachers accountable for the way they teach. Could you imagine how different our inner cities would be if we had after-school programs, job training as part of high school? Look, I'm a product of a public high school education, and actually public college as well. I mean, I'm a product of public school, high school and college. And I mean, could you imagine if our schools worked better, and if kids came out of high school, first of all, with an eye toward their limitless potential in life, but also then entering an economy that actually, provided them with opportunities and jobs, which again we're not doing today, things would be so much different. And so yes, look, we have to have more capacity in our prisons, and we have to punish people, but going back to saying we can't just handcuff our way out of the crime problem. We have to answer the urgent challenges facing our communities today. And sadly, Washington has not provided those answers.
Well, it sounds to me like you've committed your entire adult life to helping others, both in the military, going overseas to protect our soldiers, and coming back here and saving us from crimes, helping put away people that are dangerous for the rest of the population. And now you keep moving up the accomplishment trail to even accomplish more by going to Washington. It sounds terrific. You're highly motivated to seem to do the right thing, and you're well informed and very intelligent about these areas. What are your chances of success getting the Waxman seat, would you say?
Well, I tell you, I'm very excited, and our campaign is doing terrifically well. We're getting support from around the country. I'll tell you, I declared my candidacy on February 10th, and within 11 hours of my declaration, We had donations coming in from states all across the country. In fact, we have 17 states, residents in 17 states supporting us, and thousands of people.
Why would that be?
I'll tell you why. Because I think the country is ready for change. And I see this when I campaign in the 33rd District. People of all, and it's bipartisan. It's absolutely bipartisan. People are deeply frustrated with what they see in Washington today.
Absolutely.
You know, we have real problems and real challenges facing our communities, facing our country. And the public looks to our nation's capital in the hopes of seeing leadership and progress. And what we see from Congress is pathological dysfunction. I mean, fragmentation and hyper-partisanship. And I'm running because, look,
Which party are you running with?
Well, I'm a Republican, but I've always been bipartisan. In fact, in every facet of my life, my wife is a lifelong Democrat, and I'm getting a lot of Democratic support. And I think that really points to the fact that you know, I'm the candidate and will be the congressman who reaches across the aisle and compromises to move the country forward. That is what I think the American people expect from their elected representatives, and sadly, that's what we're not seeing in Washington today, and it's tragic. And ultimately, all of us are paying the price for that. This isn't just a Washington problem or a Congress problem. The lack of leadership and the lack of progress moving forward on these key issues is something affecting all of us. And I think now is the time for change. And the reason I'm getting support from across the country is because people see in me an opportunity to really bring positive change and compromise and progress to
Elan,
Washington.
they all say that. I'm hoping you're going to be different, and you are going to go make a difference, and you are going to make change happen, and you will compromise, and you will go across the aisle. Once you get there, I hope you don't get intoxicated by the same old rules and regulations that have crippled our country. And it sounds like you have the courage, because of your background, to stand up and do the right thing.
Well, I think, Todd, that's you hit the nail on the head. I think what makes me different is that I already have a track record of walking the walk, not just talking the talk, when it comes to solving real problems and protecting Americans and keeping people secure. And again, security isn't just security from physical threats, it's security from economic risk as well. I have a track record second to none. And so my background does point to the fact that I am different. I'm not a typical, you know, I'm not a politician, a recycled politician running for office. Right. And so I think my background shows that I have made a difference for our country and for our communities here in LA, and I'm going to make a difference in my next endeavor.
Sounds like you're strong enough to do it, and I think it's terrific.
Thank you.
And I look forward for watching you move from helping us against crime in our community, our county, to helping save our nation on many other levels. And I thank you for coming here today.
It's an honor and a pleasure.
It's my pleasure and my honor. And I look forward to hearing more and seeing more of you. So I thank you for coming.
Thank you, Todd.
And thank you for making a difference.